You program cloud. It's in bin. Yeah, it's in bin. I don't know why I see this through the I got it, but the program
No, you're good.
yes, silence is blank. Yeah, I got 5.6. All right, let me just and then go back up. I'm going. It's called Meeting2.
Yeah.
If you already have your stuff, make it true. As long as you got stuff. Maybe I installed it. So right now, we're just getting my, hey, what's up? Go back to, I don't have this. I haven't even worked yet. So, bro, yeah. Dude, mine works. I took it one time here. Yeah, there you go. We have the 64-bit version.
Oh.
That's why I and minus kilo. What are we looking for after getting that? The SQL Server 5.6. I think it's the minus kilo. The bin folder.
Yeah, once you get to the bin folder, well, that was just to be able to install it. So then you would install this one right here.
Okay, so we can reinstall.
No, well, if you already have it, and then you can like access it from that.
Which I can.
Then you're good. Well, you don't. It was just to help him have it installed. So if you can already log in from the command line, you're good. And then just make sure you've got a table named employee. And but that's okay, because then you'll see how it works. And then just make sure you've got ID for the primary key, first name, last name, and salary for the column. But yeah, so pretty much 4 columns. Just make sure the first or the third and fourth yeah, testing MySQL. Yeah, so then you're going to do MySQL space. So I saw yours was root, or so it's like dash Q, or dash Q, and then your password. No space at the P. Okay. And then dash Q for the root. Yeah, I think it was root.
Well, if you want to do a first one,
No, main app.
I want to make a lap. Now I'm going to
And then what I'm going to teach you is that hopefully you guys already have all the libraries installed, all the Hibernate, and then the Java connector. OBDC connector for the MySQL through Microsoft. I've got the file if you need it. Yeah, the OBDC connector. So it's this one right here. It's this one right here. That executed. Yep. And how does Yankee?
Like right there. Or geography. If it's not, then you
So then once we have the MySQL connector to Java, here's my main. I don't know if your main looks like this. So it's four Java files. And so this is going to import the Hibernate. So it's a session. And so we're going to open a session, and we're going to create a transaction to be able to put our user information into the table. And we're creating a new employee, and that's going to be named John Smith, and he's going to have a salary of 200. And this is where the annotation is, because it's a dotty, and so that's a new employee. Do you guys have main? Is the question. And then we're also going to use the Hibernate singleton. Okay. So basically, once you have main, the next thing that you're going to need, because we're actually going to call the Hibernate singleton, and this is where it's going to be connecting to our database. So we've got the Hibernate dialect to be able to translate Java into MySQL with the Hibernate dialect of MySQL. And then our JDBC driver is right there. And then our database is going to be right here. And then, of course, our username and root. Our username and password, sorry. And the most of the rest is Brother Barney's code. That just makes everything happy. And then this is where it all gets built. So then once we're done with the Hibernate singleton, then employee, this is all of our getters and setters. So this is actually our actual, where you do the annotation. As far as the table is going to be employee name, or sorry, name is going to be employee. And then our string is going to be our first name, last name, and salary. And then these are all the getters and setters to be able to get everything. And then our manage employee. And with manage employee, I don't think this is actually getting used because I'm not calling this file. But if I were to, then John, Daisy, and Zara would get added into our database. So then when we click on sand and then we hit run, you're going to see a whole bunch of red. And then I just created a second insert statement into our database, and its ID is 2. That is not a bad thing. I don't know why it's not a bad thing, but red is good in this version. And I did run into a few problems because I didn't have the JDBC this morning. And I was actually, it was really nice because that's why I was like saying how awesome it was that Java Eclipse actually tells you exactly what your problem is instead of just saying like it's a seg fault or whatever. It doesn't give you any examples. So then we've got employee list generated too. So then I'm going to go here and I'm going to go here. And on here, I can do another select statement from last name, and now I've got 2 Smiths in there. And then, yeah. So I could do maybe a. So then it gives both that word. Yeah, so I could delete a column or a row. And that's it. So now we have our database. And then we at least have the Java code. And so pretty much our next task for using Hibernate, so once Hibernate's set up, just like here with, so then in main, we need to call manage employee instead of just employee. Because yeah, we're adding new users from employee. Right. So if I were to do manage employee, then I believe we should be able to get all the data from the manage employee.
Is it need to run like a maintenance for the folder kind of thing. We don't have enough ones.
I think we're just gonna have to hand manage it.
All right. It's something we ask them for. All right, sweet. Good option.
Can.